Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. 2017 was a great year. We had lots of adventures. Me, my dog, my buddies, my wife. 2018 is going to be even better. So I hope you subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and enjoy what you're about to see. Thank you. Well, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hey, I know I haven't been here in a while, not showing anything worth looking at due to all the medical troubles I've had since January, and this is almost June now. I expect to be riding this in June, hopefully. With therapy and stuff, I'm going to get back into shape ASAP. But what we're going to talk about today, and what I'm going to show you, is I got to put a new tire on the back of there. And new tires are about $250. Unless you buy them from Harley, then they're about $350. And what I got right here is a tire that's only got, maybe 3,000 miles on it. Not many. The tread, the new depth on a tread is 5.5. I measured this one, it is 5.0. So it's the one I had on here, and I bought new wheels and tires and stuck this back up on the shelf. It's been sitting around about 4 years. It's been out of the sun, been in here in the garage, climate controlled, so it'll be okay. But we're going to take this wheel and tire off, take this one, then take them both to the shop. They'll change that. I'm just going to show you how to take off the bike. This is a 2009 FLH. You may take your tires off a different way than I do. You even, I know the factory or the Harley-Davidson dealer will do it different because they got different tools. Now I'm going to show you how I do it. So first off, we're going to take off the saddlebags. So you can work on them a little better. And to take off the saddlebags, it's pretty easy. But I'm going to bring that over here so you can see. Walk with me. By the way, I'm walking a lot better. I'm a little sore right now because I just got back from a long walk around the park, and I rode my bicycle, and I've done all my exercise. I'm a little sore, but I'm getting there. Okay, let's go over here and look at this. See if we can put this camera right down into here so you can see what I'm going to show you. I think we'll be able to do that okay. Now, first thing you're going to want to do is take all your crap out of there, which I already did. Now then, gotta see what I can see. Oh. You got a front one, you got a rear one. Pretty simple. You twist it, about a half turn, it comes right out. Twist this one, comes right out. And you notice the saddlebag falls right off. So now all you got to do, take this part, put it on there again. You don't know how to lock up your saddlebag, you probably shouldn't be riding your bike, because that's kind of something you know. Alright, now then, what you want to do is just lift that thing off, like so. Lift it off and out of the way. Now then, you want to set it somewhere out of the way so you don't bang into it, you don't knock it over. Just get it out of the way. Then you can get down to my shock and all the unnecessary little stickers my friends have put on my bike. I don't even know what that one says. Let's see if we can get down on that. What does that one say? I see there's one right down there. I can't see what it says, but there's one there. I noticed there's another one on front. Yeah, that's a little comical thing we do in Sturgis. We put stickers on each other's bikes. Too many of them are doing it to my bike. I got stickers everywhere. Never on the paint, always on the frame, so we can remove them. Okay, let's get on to getting this thing more ready to go. Well, I've got both saddlebags off, as you see now. I just wanted to show you some other stuff here that might come in handy with you. This little thing right here, little chain with a little lock. If I'm on the road and I stop at a cafe and I want to leave my helmet out here, I just lock my helmet on there. So that's all that is. Then I put a row of LED lights down here that kind of looks cool. I turn them on at night. Naturally, I got my little road side assistant. In my case, we're going to use this lift table. This is a pretty good lift table. That's good enough that I put a little vise on it, so I use it for a lot of different projects. You've probably seen it in some of my projects. This is, you can pick these up at Harbor Freight. Little wheel locks. Pretty cool. You drive right in it. You can get off the bike and it'll stand there and hold the bike while you get off and put your straps on. You can't buy this one because nobody makes them that heavy duty. So you can go to Harbor Freight and buy a cheap one. It'll probably work. Or you get out your welder and cutting torch and go buy a piece of metal and put it together and make you an awesome one. So another thing we're going to use is this jack right here. Now this jack, I went out to the wrecking yard. I have no idea what that's off of, but you just stick that under the frame and jack that whole rear end up. And works just as good as the ones you buy at Harley-Davidson or any bike shop. And it's a lot cheaper. This here, right there, that's just for my intercom system. Used to go up here. But being this goes off and on so often, it was handier to put it down there. My wife don't ever use it anyway. And matter of fact, I don't think she's even rode the bike in, heck, I think she rode it once last year with me. And she don't let me take girlfriends with me anymore, so didn't need it. All right, let's get to do it. You get it up in the air. Oh, I wanted to show you this thing right here. Guess I could have showed it to you later. This is just a little leveling kit. Cheap. Not 25 bucks or something off of eBay. All it does is it bolts up here where your shock usually is, and then you just move your shock back to here. You can go all the way down to 3 inches lower by putting it back here. I wouldn't suggest it. I think I just took mine down to about 1.5 inches lower, which still gives me enough room back there that I can pack the old lady and have no problems with bottoming out. You would have problems if you went 3 inches down. You'd have problems getting over a rock in the road. So, all right, let's get this hooked up and see how many stickers I got to remove. Well, as you can see, I got the table lifted up and the air compressor had to come on, and that noisy thing, you don't want to listen to that. So now what we're going to do is I've got the socket that fits here. I'm going to slide this right under here. And there's a brace that goes right across. Put this right under that brace. Then take your air gun. You don't do that, have a ratchet. Whatever you want to put on there. Lift that up a bit. That ain't going nowhere, it's tied up in the front. I just want to take it. So the tire, right at this point, just barely off the ground. Now then, I'm going to show you some other things on here. Okay, we're here on the axle now. I took a chisel and put me a little mark right there. Just a mark. Then I put me a little dot right there with my Sharpie. So when I put it back together, I know if that mark and that mark's together, the belt tension is going to be back to where it was. Okay, there you can see a little better maybe. I don't know if you can or not. I don't think you can. There we go. And you see that? There it is. There's your little lowering kit. That's all it is. Cheapy, works, and that's all that matters if it works. Okay, on this side, before you pull this big nut off, as you can see, you got a nut here and you got to take that off. I'm going to show you how to do all that. I'll set the tripod up here. But you got to take these bolts off, because that, once you start trying to slide the wheel out, is going to hit. Your caliper is going to hit up in here, and you ain't going to never get the wheel off if you don't do that. Boy, that's a dirty ass wheel. You wouldn't believe that's even chrome anymore. So anyway, we're going to pull that off. I'm going to put the tripod over here so you can watch me do that. Sure to bore you to death. Remember, this one and this one. That's the only ones you take off. Not none of these. And that's on my bike, not on you. I don't know if you don't have an FLH 2009, it may be different. But do not pull your caliper apart. You will get oil all over, brake oil all over your brake, and they don't work real good. Another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check your brake pads back in there when you pull this apart. You can see mine's got about half thickness on it. You can see that even is rusty in there on my disc, because I haven't rode it. Not this year. And this is month 5. So let me get the tripod set up. Well, I think you can see everything there. Moving over here a little bit. There's your nut. Axle nut, that's an axle. Axle nut, axle retainer. Them little clips right there, you just take your screwdriver and, I got a plenty long enough one, stick it under there and you pry it up like you can see me. Pry it up and it'll pop right off. Now me, I don't know what them are called. I call them Jesus clips. Because sure as heck, you're going to start prying that thing off, and it's going to shoot across the room, and you're going to say, Jesus, where'd that go? Okay, big joke. Okay, now we're going to take these off. Discs, the pads, and separate them, because it's easier to get on there if they're nice and baggy. And once you get them nice and loosened up, you spread them apart. That's what you do. You spread the discs apart a little more than you need, and then when you go to put them back on there, they're easier to put back on. Just remember to bump your brakes up a little bit before you try driving down the highway, because it will not have much brake until you've pumped them back up. I also got a magnet thing laying right there. Throw all my nuts and bolts in so I don't lose them. Because if you've ever went to Harley-Davidson to get a nut and a bolt, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see if we can get that out of there. Yeah, almost, but not quite. Okay. So we got that out. We got the clip off. So now we're going to take a look at this, will you? I don't know if you can see what size that is, but that's a 36 millimeter. What? Metric? Yep. That's a metric nut right there. Much easier. And then that's off. And that's what your nut looks like. So, what we're going to do, take my little punch, set that right in the middle of that little hole right there. Let's see if we can get this down here to where I want it. Then I'm going to take my little hammer and tap, and the axle will come right out. Oh, I got to get the camera set up better. You're missing it all. Well, I couldn't get the camera set up to where I could hit the hammer and show you this same time. But what you're doing is you're taking this and you're putting it right in that hole and you're just tapping that right on through. That's your axle. That's this side of your axle. I'll show you the other side. That's your axle, and it's got a little slot on it for your adjustment. There's your other side right there. Now this should pull, whoops, that's it right there. Now that thing will pull right out. I got to jack up the rig a little more so I can get it out of here. Where's my finger? There it is. Got to jack this up a little more so it'll slide right out from underneath there, which it will. Well, as you can see, we got the axle out. We got the belt pulled over here, so you can just jack the bike right up off of it. Now, and I spread the brakes apart right there. Had about half brake left. And then I was able to pull it off the discs. There's your brakes. I put this board in there so it can't go back shut in case somebody gets up there and starts screwing around my brake pedal. Now all we got to do is lift it up. I think I can put this on the tripod and you can watch that. So let's do that. All right. Now we're going to just hit the old handy junkyard jack, and take it up in the air. I got it going the right way. Yep. Now we changed the bearings in these last time we had it apart, so they're still good. So now all I got to do is take it to the tire shop. Couldn't talk to you while I was jacking this up, too noisy, but I jack it up plenty high. Who cares? It ain't going nowhere. So that's that. That's how you take it off. Well, I guess the camera can't see it because I got it down there. This spacer goes on that side. This spacer here goes in between the frame and your wheel on the other side. So, you just remember where they go, but you got to put them back. That's all I'm going to do today. Got to take it to the shop and get her fixed. Looks a little better shined up. Yeah, it's ready to go back on. I'm going to record the whole thing while I'm putting it on, and but I'm going to put it in fast motion. You don't need to watch most of it. I'll put some of the details on there, stop and show you how to do the brakes and such. I forgot to show you that when I was taking it off, but I can show you now. So anyway, that's the wheel. She's looking shiny, ain't she? Well, let's put it back on. I've got all the spacers cleaned up, the axles cleaned up. I always put a little bit of this never seize on the axle, just in case. And I will this time. All right, let's put this up together. Okay. Now then, all we got to do is bring her down. Make sure everything's clearing. Everything's good to go. Looks good. All right, let's take her down a little bit before we start putting everything on it. Go. Looks okay. Bring her down. Yep. Good more. All right, let's see which way that one is on. Okay. Put it on just like that. Okay. Putting on the nut. I took this off the tripod because I wanted to show you this part here. Once you got that axle nut through there like I showed you just a minute ago, you just drop your caliper right back on and you put your bolts back in just like this. These will be torqued down to 25 pounds. I mean 35. And then I got to look up the torque on this. But that's how you put that back together. Now I wanted to show you how you take them. You seen the board, I had them spread apart this far. That's over 1/4 inch. You can spread it, the farther you spread them apart, the easier this will be. Now then, to do that, I just use a long screwdriver, and when I'm taking it apart, I get right in there with the screwdriver and twist it until I can get it off of here. Once I got there, and do it, and then push it in a little, twist a little, be careful, don't tear crap up. Then when you get it so you can lift it off, then you can bring it out here, stick your screwdriver in it and pry it open even more so. What that does, takes all your brake fluid, shoots it back up here to your brake reservoir. So there's going to be no, there's going to be nothing pumped down into here until you pump up the brakes, which I'll show you. Now I'm going to go on the other side. I got better light to show you this here adjustment piece. You want to make sure that that's the same on both sides, pointing the same way. Let's see if mine is. Hey, it is. Okay, so there it is. It's on there. Now all I got to do is twist this around till I get to this place right here. Now what I did is I cleaned this axle up, so I took my Sharpie mark and I put a little punch mark on top of it. Then I cleaned all the parts up and lost most of my Sharpie. So now all I got to do is twist this and put this mark even with that mark. If you remember right, I put a chisel mark there. Then the belt's perfectly lined up. Then all we got to do is torque it down. And then I'll let it down and we're done with that. Okay everybody, I was way off on the torque specs. Well, not way off, but I was 10 off. These little nuts right up here to hold your calipers on are supposed to be torqued between 43 and 48. That's these right here, okay? Now, I'm going to torque them to 45. That's 45. Need a shorter torque wrench. That's 45. Now, your big nut there on your axle is supposed to be between 95 and 105. So I'm going to tighten it down to 100. Now I've already gone on the other side like I said and got this little adjustment put in the right spot. Now we're just going to take this up to 100. If I got the power in me to do it. There we go, 100. Now all we got to do is put our little clip back on. What do we call that again? We call it a C-clip. There we go. Now then, that's done. We've got it pretty much done. I've already even jacked it down. Let's see if I can get my beautiful face in here. Not that close. All right. So, like I said, we got it done now. I'm going to clean up some stuff that is dirty on here. I noticed some wires hanging down here and there. Got to tape them up, fix them, get them out of the way. You know, shit happens when you let stuff sit for a long time, or you haven't checked it in a long time because you've been going down the road. But anyway, it's all done. Gonna put the saddlebags to clean it up, like I said, put the saddlebags back on it, and then I'm gonna change the oil. If you don't know how to change your oil, I'm gonna put a link right up here at the end of the video. You can go back to my Sturgis 2018 preparing the bike for Sturgis. I show what I did to get it all ready to go. So I'm thinking that's where the oil change is. If it ain't, I'll put it on, I'll fix it. Okay? Anyway, you have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it helped you out a little bit. Or hope you was able to drink a beer and laugh. Have a good day. Bye.